Hi, I'm Jim, and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop. And I got some new parts for my welder we're going to unbox, but first I want to pass on a couple of tips from viewers. One tip from a viewer and something I forgot to put in my last video. This is from Billy. He wrote and told me that he retired now and he's upgrading to a rider. I'm glad I didn't have to wait till I retired to get mine, because I'm sure tired of walking around pushing that thing. Anyway, he says he found some good wheel bearings. The glare on there is terrible, isn't it? On Amazon, that are actual ball bearings instead of them cheap little things we get from Tractor Supply. Now, I already buy the better ones, and I pay almost as much for one as I paid for all four from Tractor Supply, just to have to compare them to the one that I bought from Detroit Ball Bearing when I got them. But these, you can find all kinds of them on Amazon. I went to it and I typed in ball bearings with a flange for riding lawnmowers. Pops right up. And these are a 10-pack. I don't know if you can read that. For $20. Now, if you don't want to share with a neighbor and split the cost, they do have on here, they've got all kinds of them. And man, the glare is really bad. They've got a 10-pack and they got a 4-pack for $9.99. And naturally it says any orders over $25 ship free. Well, if you got the fancy Amazon account like my secretary at work does, she gets my stuff for free anyway. So that's from Billy, and Billy, thanks a lot, and I appreciate tips. If any of you guys out there have tips where you found parts for snappers or any machine cheap, let me know. I'll pass them on. Now, this is what I forgot to put in my last video on the diodes for hooking up the hour meter on my machine. The place I found them that has these is in Clare, Michigan. They're a 6-amp diode for $1. And the guy's name is Chris. His phone number is 1-989-386-2012. And that I will update the information under the last video and put that in there along with telling you now. But that's all I got on that. Now, I bought this new TIG kit for my Lincoln welder, and I got it almost free because I had a Visa debit card from Lincoln. Let me pull this little card up, paper off, right from Lincoln Welding. And I thought, well, I'll just throw it in the drawer, and when I figure out what I want, I'll use it. Well, I never knew that one of these Visa cards could expire. So if you ever get one, check to see right there if there's an expiration date. I didn't know it. 6/19, this baby expired. And the rebate was for $433. I about had a heart attack. So I went down and I talked to the guys at Lake Welding, where I get my stuff. It's Prax Air now. And he called the number on the back, and of course he got put on hold. So I called from home, and 15 minutes later this little foreign guy answers. And down here at the bottom in small print, it says card reissuing fee of $12.95. So apparently they stick a lot of people with that. Now luckily I didn't look at that and say it's expired and throw it away. So they said, we'll issue a new card for $12.95. I said, hey, that's fine. At least I'll get almost all of it back. And I waited and waited and it didn't come. So I had to call them again. And they, of course, this little foreign guy in Singapore or wherever he was, oh, I'm so sorry, I issue it right away and I don't charge you. So I got it all back. This one was good until 7/20 or 7 of 2020. And as soon as I got this in the mail, I went right down and ordered this kit because I didn't want this one to expire. So I guess we can open this up and see what's in it. Outside of a TIG torch for my welder. Now, I understand from what I've been watching on YouTube that to use this kit, you have to install a pigtail inside your welding machine, which a lot of negative comments on that, which, yeah, I believe that too. I mean, they should have put it in there. Of course, if you don't buy the kit the way I got it, you have to buy that pigtail separate, and it's like $95. So I'm really glad mine came in this kit. All kinds of, oh, this is my electrodes for it. 3 different sizes for the TIG. Man, there's a lot of boxes in here. Almost dropped my knife. Oh, this is the TIG torch. Oh, this is what plugs into the welder, and this is the gas line that goes, hooks in here and goes back to the tank. You have to use plain argon, not the mix. And luckily I got 2 tanks on my welder because I've been welding with a spool gun. Been welding aluminum with a spool gun, and that takes just argon. So at least I don't have to buy another tank. And this is the little jewel you have to install in the welder. And from some of the videos I've watched, they said plan on taking an hour. Well, I've always watch a bunch of videos on doing one thing because it's nowhere near an hour. I watched one guy do it and it took him about 20-25 minutes. Man, that's heavy. I wonder what's in there. I guess I could tip you down a little bit. Oh. That's why it's so heavy. It's the foot pedal. And that's what plugs into the wiring harness I have to put inside of the welder. Boy, I thought that would be a cheap plastic foot pedal, but that is all steel. That's kind of nice. What else is in here? I guess that's the end of it. And this is the actual TIG torch itself. Now, from what I understand, I haven't actually used one of these yet, but the way it looks, it hooks into the welder on the opposite side of my MIG gun. I'm hoping that's how it hooks up, because I do a lot of welding with the MIG or wire. And for welding in here in my wood shop, the wire welder just creates too many sparks. A TIG gun doesn't. It just creates a lot of heat, and electrically there's no flame, and you feed in the rod as you're melting the steel. This is the rod. This is for mild steel. I thought I'd just get some cheap rod to see how it works before I get into buying any expensive rod for doing other types of steels. But we'll figure this out and get it hooked up. I might do a video on wiring in the pigtail. I'm not sure, but once I get this thing hooked up and running, maybe we'll do a video on it. Now, the next video I'm going to do right after this one is going to be unboxing another tool that I bought. I want to try to get all this stuff bought while both me and the wife are working. She's about ready to retire this year, hopefully, and mine's getting really close. So want to get this stuff picked up while I got the money to do it. Like they say, when you have the money, you don't have time. When you have time, you don't have the money. So I think I'm going to pick it up while we're both working. And that's about it on this one. If you have any comments or questions, put them in that box below or shoot me an email. And if you have any tips for these other snapper owners or whatever, snow blowers, push mowers, whatever, send them in to me and I'll pass them on. So don't forget to subscribe and like that. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the videos. And until next time, work safe, have fun, and we'll talk to you soon. So long.